Whitlock, refs cost the game?
Yeah, I think without question. And I mean, from the block in the back that wasn't a block in the back on Rodgers to tossing the guy out, and then obviously the pass interference. In a defensive struggle on the road, your offensive line trying to find itself. If I'm Seattle, I have every reason to believe if the officiating had been remotely fair or just competent, I would have won that game. And because we would have had that pick six and that would have swung the whole momentum of the game. I think without question, I'll just say this to Seattle, though. When you become the Legion of Boom, and when Richard Sherman is the face of your defense, and then Michael Bennett becomes the face of your defense, and then you become the loudest, whiniest team that you come across like an NBA team, don't be surprised if the referees don't cut you slack or don't give you all the calls you're supposed to get. Don't be surprised. They've chosen to be loud and whiny, and sometimes the refs are going to screw you.
I'm not going to blame the refs. They didn't help. But Seattle has made choices, and everybody in life makes choices. And they've made choices not to pay for offensive linemen. And I think it's a mistake. And this is the way sports works. You know, bullpens in baseball about 5 years ago became the rage. Like, have a great bullpen in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Offensive lines this new collective bargaining. The smart teams put money in O-lines because they figured out we're not going to have the practice time. Seattle went the other way. They spent money on Cam Chancellor, just made $36 million. And I didn't think he came off.
Didn't do much yesterday.
And I'm like, I thought he came off an average year. Seattle has made choices, and they have chosen not to spend any money on the offensive line. And even with those officials, can you remember back-to-back-to-back first downs? I mean, they got no push for 3.5 hours.
They had absolutely no offense, and that was stunning to me. I think the Jeremy Lane ejection really triggered Green Bay's offense really get into a rhythm because right after Randall Cobb?
Yeah.
He started to,
Get going.
Yeah, he got going, and he had a lot of catches out of the slot, and that's Jeremy Lane's guy. So, if you look at the grand scheme of things, the Seattle Seahawks defense was gassed. They was on the field all day.
That's no question about that.
It was tick for tack all day, and they went back and forth. But you have to score some points, and then you continue to get Aaron Rodgers the ball. He's going to beat you at some point. He beat him. He was very savvy yesterday. Beat him with the hard count. Caught him with 12 men running off the field. Caught threw the touchdown downfield. Jordy Nelson.
Yeah.
Just savvy plays, man. It just determined the outcome. I don't think it was the refs.
Yeah. Think about how much Seattle struggled with a mobile quarterback. I mean, think about how bad that offensive line. What if that is
Eli Manning
or Matt Ryan, a good quarterback,
somebody who's not a scrambler? Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, and it's sad because this is a very good football team. This is a team that could win the Super Bowl, I believe. But you can't leave your defense in those positions because you're not scoring points. Offensive line, we just talked about it. You got to have one, and I don't understand it because if you study it and you look back and you see what teams that go to the Super Bowls, they have that good offensive line. You have to have at least a good offensive line, a great offensive line, if you really want to go out there and actually move that ball up and down the field. It makes all the difference in the world.
Hold for 1 second, though. Seattle, if Richard Sherman was here, was like, hey, man, we won a Super Bowl with this defense.
They had a pretty good offensive line, though.
Their offensive line wasn't atrocious.
Yeah. With this defense, and they won a Super Bowl. You're telling me, though, you would, after those officiating calls, particularly the pass interference, the getting thrown out of the game, you wouldn't, as a player, be in that locker room like, man, the ref screwed us.
You know what, Jeremy Lane? Don't do that. Come on. You can do that against Jones Junior High School, but you're playing against one of the best teams in the NFL. You can't afford to make those type of mistakes. He knows you can't do that. It was over. That play was way away.
He was wrestling with a guy.
He shouldn't have got kicked out of the game, but that is unnecessary roughness. That's unnecessary roughness according to If I'm on his team...
Soft wide receiver.
I'm a tight end. Now, look, I'm telling you right now, if you... Yeah, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
It was.
So anyways, when you're out there and you're playing in this game, as a veteran player, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, come on. We're fighting. We're fighting our butts off. Look what you just did.
There is a sense, like, I always think about this, like in boxing. You're from Kansas City, I'm from Seattle. We fight, and we fight in Kansas City. You know you have to win the fight.
Home cooking, yeah.
In college, like Ohio State, Oklahoma, there was a couple of pro Buckeye fans. In the NFL, I don't feel it exists, but Green Bay's always had a college feel to it. And I sat there yesterday and I'm like, this feels like college officiating. And I always feel in a college game, if you were at Virginia Tech and you go to Virginia, you know you're going to get hosed once. And it's almost like Green Bay's the college atmosphere of the NFL. And I thought early in the game, I'm like, this is like college officiating.